What's up, guys? Today I wanted to talk about the whole PJ Washington situation with Brittany Renner, and most of you probably seen it by now. PJ Washington came to pick up his son, and Brittany Renner was already recording him, basically antagonizing him, trying to get a rise out of him for no apparent reason. And she ended up being able to get a few rises out of him. She got a rise out of the girl in the car, which was his wife. You guys have seen the video by now. And I went through a similar situation to this, and I kind of just want to critique and give some advice on kind of what to do in that situation. Some of you are going to be in that situation where you have to go pick up your kid from your baby mother's house, and you have to understand how important it is that you conduct yourself properly. And the way to do that, in my opinion, is to understand what's possible and what the baby mother's angle is on the situation. So as soon as she understands that he's going to be coming to the house to pick up the kid, and if you notice in the video, I won't play the video, but if you notice in the video, she was already recording before he even showed up. So this was a whole premeditated situation. And if you notice, it seems like it's the third time that that's happened because she said that the baby's cried 3 times in a row. So it seems like they had something settled in court to where he now gets to see his son on weekends or 1 day a week, maybe 2 days a week. And 3 weeks in a row now, the baby's cried when the father's shown up. Now, a lot of times what'll happen is the mom will set up the baby for failure when you show up. So the mom will not change the baby's diaper. I mean, even as far as to pinch the baby right when she's handing the baby to you so that he cries. So you just as a father feel like you're in a hostile situation. Baby's crying, the mother's there, she's complaining about your existence, she's complaining about the fact that you never show up to pick up the kid, whatever. And on the video, you can say whatever you want. Because on the video, they'll be like, you never show up to take care of your kid. Meanwhile, you've been fighting for custody the entire time. I had a situation like this where my kid's mom was saying I'm a deadbeat dad, and it's like I've literally spent thousands and thousands of dollars to try to basically even have contact with my kids. This was when I was living in another state, but they get to say anything on a video. So they press record and they'll paint a story that you don't care, you don't try, you spend money on girls, you spend money on your new wife, whatever, and the baby's broke, the baby has no diapers, the baby's not taken care of. Like a lot of times women in these situations, they have no integrity. They don't care about being honest. They don't care about portraying the story in a fair manner. They're just going to do whatever it takes to where the court of public opinion sees you as a deadbeat dad or sees you as incompetent in whatever way they can. They'll try to attack your masculinity. They'll try to tell you you're broke. If you do have money, they'll tell you that you use money on certain things that's not your kids. They'll tell you you use money on girls, you waste money on cars, whatever. They'll just say anything that they can possibly say to make people to the left and the right look at you and judge you. And the way you really combat that is to understand that what she's trying to do is she's just trying to get a rise out of you. And I fell for this in the past too. I feel like most men, almost every man, will fall for this at some point because you're in a hostile situation, your nervous system's fucking freaking out. You're just trying to pick up your kid and walk away and trying to have a quick interaction, trying to grab the kid's bag, whatever it is. And the baby mother is holding the bag long, trying to have a conversation with you. They could have had a conversation on the parenting app. They could have had a conversation on the phone, but no, it's right in this moment while I'm trying to receive my son and physically grab him from you or physically receive him from you. You're trying to have all of these conversations about finances, about who I am as a father, about how I never see my kid. Why don't you just put that on the parenting app? And that's one of the things that you guys need to understand is there doesn't need to be any conversation outside of the parenting app or outside of some sort of recorded phone call. In person is not a good situation to have these conversations. And that's a new policy I've developed is in relationships, if I think there's a possibility of hostility, I don't want to talk in person. We can Zoom. If you want to talk to me about something, we can have a Zoom conversation. I will not speak to the mother of my kids in person over anything that's serious, hostile, or any type of contentious topic at all. It has to be through Zoom because just raising your voice you can raise your voice, she can drop her phone, and she'll say in court that you knocked the phone out of her hand or you punched her in the face. She'll grab a rock, smack it on her face, bust her eyeball open and say you did it. And now it's he said, she said, or whatever the situation is. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, you can just beat that in court because it didn't happen. Bro, it's not just about what didn't happen and what happened that's going to get you in a messed up situation. Because if that happens, guess what you're going to do? You're going to call a lawyer the next day. Yo, I need somebody to represent me. I'm in a messed up situation, but I really didn't do it though. That doesn't matter that you really didn't do it. You know what the lawyer's going to tell you? I need $1,500. I need $2,000. Then they're going to run your pockets. They're going to see you have 40,000 saved. You have $100,000 saved. Now all of a sudden, instead of the bill being, $500 every month or so, now it's 1,000. Like, that's how it works. It's extortion. They just get you in situations, they wrap you up into a bunch of controversy, and now you have to pay a lawyer to fix your issues. To avoid the issues in the first place, have as much communication as possible through a parenting app or some sort of recorded, court ordered communication situation. In person conversations should not be happening. And you should always be recording in your pocket or get those glasses that have some sort of recording capability. I think they're called Ray-Bans or something like that. Get something to where you just protect yourself, because every single time you're in front of your baby mother and you guys are not on good terms, sometimes you don't even know you're not on good terms. Sometimes she just lost her job last week and you don't know that. So she's trying to figure something out. Like, you're a bank account to her. Every time you're in front of her, physically within 10 feet, you're in a situation where you could get yourself messed up. You have to create distance. You have to have most communication away from her. You can Zoom call if you want. And that's probably the best way to handle those situations. Because no matter how much you think you're Mr. Stoic or you're calm or you don't care, everybody has that one thing you can say that just gets them to snap. And it's not the fact of you caring about her, her being able to trigger you. It's simply it's like a self-respect thing. It's like, how much are you going to take from this person in front of your kid? How much are you going to let her belittle you, berate you, talk shit about you in front of your kid? You're going to want to stand up for yourself naturally. And then her mom's in the background, who literally is a battery behind her back. It's just an older, more bitter, more hurt version of her, who doesn't have a man as well. I don't think she does. She's just basically trying to take it out, all of the vengeance and the vitriol she has for all the men who's left her, by her own doing, by the way, because she was incompetent the entire time. All of that hatred for men, she's directing it towards you. So now the mom and the daughter both hate men secretly. No one else knows. To everybody in their community, they're nice people, right? But secretly, they're miserable. And they're going to direct all of that energy towards you. And they're going to justify it by saying, they gave you their years, or I handed you my daughter, or you left me, or you were with other women, or whatever the situation is, to justify trying to ruin your life. You have to limit communication with them. You have to stay in control, stay poised. And whenever you're doing an exchange, just record it. Try to keep your distance. Like, he was way too close to her, close to the door. She could say you tried to force entry into her house. You just got to know how to move, man. You really got to consider that every time you leave the house as a man, you got to have a goal. You got to know where you're going, know what your schedule is, know what time you're coming back, know why you're leaving the house. Just, when you leave the house, it's not safe. As a man, everybody's trying to come for you. Everybody's trying to get something out of you. If you have money, people are trying to sue you. If you're popular, people are trying to knock you down, take that aura away. If you're confident, people are trying to humble you. Like, all people are trying to do is reduce men. Just make them feel powerless, make them feel less masculine. That way they have more control of you. So make sure you guys try to stay in control. Control your situation, have a goal, have a purpose, always walk with intent. You're always heading in a direction. So you always have focus. You're not just out kind of hanging around, wandering around. That way you're just drifting around the place. You're just walking around downtown with nowhere to go, just kind of hanging out. Like, know where you're going, know what you're doing, know what your goal is, know what this interaction is about, get it done, and get back to work. Stay home, stay safe, stay humble. That's all I got for you guys on that situation. Always handle these interactions as distant as possible. Keep communication on devices if you can. There's Zoom. There's no need to be in person trying to do all this stuff. And if you got to do an exchange, just wait by the car. Maybe have somebody come with you, grab the bag. Like, you don't want to be within 10 feet of the woman, man. You don't. I'm telling you. Anytime you're within 10 feet of a woman who hates you, you're putting yourself in a fucked up situation. Trust me, it happened to me. And it took me learning from it to be able to express this the way I'm expressing it, because it just fixes the issue. Distance is key.